Hey, today I'm going to start sharing some parts of my stamp collection. I just got an auction lot in, and I've broken it up into several small parts to begin sharing with you. We're going to first look at a album that I got. It's a pre 1950s album, and we'll look at what's in there and see what people used to collect at one time or how they would put their collection together. So let's continue on. Thank you. So this is the improved postage stamp album, and we'll look at it, what I got in my auction lot. The 20th edition, with some hints to help beginning collectors to collect. It came with a identifier and some terms to learn philately and an index to the album. This starts off with Great Britain, and we've got a couple of cut squares and some postage due included there. And this album obviously has had some of the specimens removed from it at one time or another to either be placed in another album, traded, or sold off to someone else. We have a nice stamp from Gibraltar there, and some early stamps from the Irish Republic. Stamps from Austria, and some Belgian stamps. Unfortunately, I don't see anything with King Leopold, who's there. And a pre-council there. Czechoslovakia. Unfortunately, the stamp is a little damaged here, but it's one of the early Czechoslovakian stamps from the first series, I believe. So far, all these stamps seem to have been pre-1945. Some Danish stamps. Early post horn right there, and another one. And here's a Perfin. So, a couple specimens for my collection that'll go in there. Finland. Some stamps from France, pardon me. Here's a Napoleon and another Napoleon. So I'll have to look those up. Those are some of the earliest stamps from France, and they were issued during the French Empire under Napoleon III. It's a nice set from Senegal and New Caledonia. They were part of the French Empire, the French overseas colonies. Some German, it says German states, but these are not German states. These are, this is a German Austria stamp, and these are some early 20th century German stamps. These look like they are Austrian stamp here. A couple of Germania. This the person on this stamp from Germany. Kind of like our Liberty icon in American stamps, in American art and culture. A couple of inflation issues from Germany. German Zeppelin Luftpost. I'll have to look that up. That'll definitely go in my collection. I have nothing like that. Some stamps from Greece. we have an inverted overprint right here. So that looks like a really nice find. Hopefully it's a key issue or something worthwhile of my collection. Some stuff from the Netherlands. They call it the Holland in this album. Some more from Netherlands. Hungary, but they've placed some Ukrainian stamps here and some stamps from Hungary. Italy. Yugoslavia. This is very late 1940s, I believe. So it's probably like the newest stamp in this book from what I've seen so far. Early stamp from Latvia, pre-World War II. One from Luxembourg, and almost matched the printing. You didn't see it if you weren't paying attention. Some post horns from Norway. I probably have those, but I'll have to double check. And some pre-war stamps from Poland. This one looks very nice to me. Probably have a spot for my collection. A few early issues from Portugal. Some stamps from Romania. Unfortunately, that one was damaged. There, really bad. It's got a tear in it. Some stamps from Russia. Unfortunately, this one is damaged, and it looks like it would fit my collection. And some of these Russian stamps you have to look at really closely because some of the early Finland stamps had a very similar design to them, but were not written in Cyrillic. Some stamps from Spain. The ever-present Franco. A nice early stamp from Sweden. Tin ore. Probably have a nice spot in my collection for that stamp there. A few stamps from Switzerland. A couple stamps from Turkey with Mustafa Kemal, also known as Ataturk. A couple stamps from Ceylon. Unfortunately, those are damaged, but this one rupee looks really nice. It's still a pair, so I may have to check those out and maybe take the better of the pair. Two nice stamps from Hong Kong, and another 3/4 piaster from Cyprus. Some stamps from India. We have several official use stamps. They say service on them. And it says convention states, but none of these are the convention states. These are just regular stamps with the British King. There's a nice stamp from Iraq. And a couple of Palestine stamps. Another nice one from Malaya. A couple of martyr stamps from China. These were martyrs, I believe, that died in the 1911 Revolution, and some of the well-known junk stamps, since they featured a junk. This one has an overprint for 1 cent. I'll have to double check the stamp that it says it's from Iran. Some of these stamps are from Japan. One of the things to determine if a stamp is from Japan, especially during the earlier era, is it has the chrysanthemum flower on it. The stamps from Manchukuo have the orchid, which is a flower with fewer petals, and they're very much pointed. And many of the stamps from China during this era have the sun on them. That way you don't have to learn too much of Japanese or Chinese. And it'll help a little bit, not for every issue, for every stamp. Here's some more stamps from China with Dr. Sun Yat-sen. These are not from Siam, which we call Thailand today. Kind of wish this was filled with Cape of Good Hope stamps. And we have a nice 50-cent Uganda Tanganyika and a 10-cent from that set. And that stamp is loose, so I'll have to take care of that. Be careful with this album. This album is almost 100 years old, based on its the notes I read inside it and its publication date. Here's some stamps from Southern Rhodesia, featuring the British monarch. Here's South Africa, and it's nice this person left the stamps say tenant, because at the time South Africa produced one stamp in English and another stamp in Afrikaans. So this stamp is Afrikaans, English, and they are together. Pardon my lack of a tongue right now, but that way you don't have to match pairs from different plates or different printings, etc. They're together. Most of the times I find them all tore apart because, well, that's the way they use stamps. Another from Sudan under the British administration. Some stamps from Egypt. We got one from Morocco. Now, one thing is some of these older albums, they were done or put together by a young person, and some of the stamps were poorly done, but some of them were done very well. And another unfortunate thing is a lot of the stamps, these albums have stamps removed, or they just didn't have enough stamps to really kind of fill it up. But because people misplace stamps, you might find a good find in an album, because they put the stamp in the wrong place and everyone's looking in the right place for the stamp. And it could be something that's a key piece for your collection or something rather valuable. We got some early stamps from Canada. This is a earlier Victorian stamp with Queen Victoria on it from Canada. Unfortunately, it's a little damaged. It's not a little damaged, it's quite a bit damaged. But for a collector, don't be afraid of having some damaged stamps in your collection, especially for older or rarer issues, as a space filler. We all can't be perfect, and we collect what we want and do what we want with it. Here's a couple from Jamaica. And it's a nice collection from Newfoundland. You rarely find even a group like this together. If you're lucky, you find one stamp from Newfoundland in a group. A couple from Argentina. And from some stamps from Brazil. That stamp is not from Brazil, it's from Bavaria. So this person either wasn't paying attention or just wasn't well versed enough in collecting their stamps, and either they accidentally put it there and didn't want to move it because, well, they just didn't want to move it. Stamp from Martinique. One stamp from Mexico. I wonder what was there that's missing. And some stamps from the United States. We got a cut square there. Most of these issues are a little rough. A couple stamps from Australia. This stamp is from Austria, not Australia. And this stamp is not from Australia either. A nice little set from New Zealand. And this album had some advertisements from Stanley Gibbons in it, and where you can buy some supplies and extra stamps, approval services, ads for different stamp catalogs and stamp albums. And here's our tongs and our watermarking kit and stamp hinges and our magnifying glasses and loops. And in the back of this album, there's a couple of covers. This is a 1 penny red. And this is another 1 penny red. These are from about 1860-ish. I believe 1864 here, and the postmarks are on the back of this one. This cover is from Australia, and it's a salvaged mail aircraft crash, Singapore, March 13th, 1954. This cover was postmarked the day before, so this plane crashed the next day. I don't know what it was or what was in it or what it's from, but it's also with the celebratory postmarking for the royal visit, and I believe this is the royal visit issue for Australia. Thank you for joining me today and looking at some new additions to my collection, and I hope you enjoyed it and hope you view some of my future upcoming videos. Thank you very much.